or you have a home, and now you need to sell it, and you have to sell it for less than what you owe, you will owe income tax on the difference between what you owed and what it got sold for. You owe a mortgage of $200,000, and that house gets sold for $100,000 in foreclosure or a short sale, you will owe income tax on the difference on that $100,000. So you have to be very, very careful with every move that you make. You know, I was walking in here today, and two women, I looked at them. One of them's name was Grace. How could you forget a name like Grace? And her friend, Grace was 61 years of age, and I was going, oh, somebody older than me, I love you. but Grace and her friend asked me two questions. Grace said, how do I make back all the money that I lost in the stock market? And the other woman said, you know, what do I do? I haven't saved any money for retirement. What do I do? And I asked her, do you own a home? She said, yes. I said, let me address it. For those of you out there who are older, and you're 45, 50 years of age, and you know that you have a home that you are going to spend the rest of your life in, and you don't have money in retirement, or you've lost money in your retirement accounts, your number one thing that you should do is pay down your mortgage. Why? Here is your plan of action. You are to always contribute to your 401k or your 403b if they match your contribution. You put in $1, they give you 50 cents. I don't care how much credit card debt you have. You cannot pass up free money. If they're giving you 50 cents for every dollar that you put in, that's an automatic 50% return on your money. Got that? But some corporations do not match. Most corporations only match up to 6% of your base pay. After 6% of your base pay, now you're looking for a retirement plan for yourself. Now start to pay down the mortgage of your home. Why? Why do you have money in a retirement account? You have money in a retirement account most likely to generate the income that you need to pay your bills after you no longer have money coming in because you've retired. If that is the case, what is your largest expense? It is your mortgage payment. Let's just say you have a $200,000 mortgage. And let's just say that even though I know interest rates are low, your FICO scores and everything weren't that great, so let's say you have a 6% mortgage. 6% 30-year fixed rate mortgage on a $200,000 mortgage, your monthly mortgage payments would be $1,200 a month or $14,400 per year. How much money do you need in a retirement account so that after taxes you can generate $14,400 a year to pay your mortgage? Oh, you need about $500,000 in a 401k at 4%. That's $20,000 a year. $20,000 a year after taxes is your $14,400, right? Do you think it's easier to pay off a $200,000 mortgage to begin with than have to save $500,000 to pay that mortgage? I do, but no. Your financial advisors will say to you, don't pay off your mortgage. It's the only tax write-off that you get. Oh, give me a break. Do you know that all the interest on a mortgage is paid in the beginning years? That is because the banks think to themselves, oh, I know. They're only going to live in that house for 7 years. Let's get the interest up front as if they had owned it for 30, and then we don't care what they do after 7 years. So after the beginning years of a mortgage, you're paying principal with very little tax write-offs. Do you know, after paying 20 years of a mortgage, of a 30-year mortgage, that $200,000 mortgage, after having paid $1,200 a month for 20 years, how much do you still think you owe for those last 10 years? You still owe $100,000. You are 2/3 into the mortgage, and you still owe 1/2. Why? Because you paid all your interest up front. So the tax benefits of a mortgage in the later years are nil. Nothing makes a woman feel more powerful than owning her home outright. Nothing. So everybody says to me, another woman said to me, Susie, I have the money to pay off my mortgage, but I don't know, should I pay it off because I have a business and I can't get capital and I need that working capital? Listen, you're all going to have to decide for yourself. If your interest rate on your mortgage is 3.5%, 4%, and you have running a business and you're doing great, you know how to make that decision. What I would tell you to do is when you have the money, pay off your mortgage. Because if you pay off your mortgage, only in a home you're going to stay in forever, people. This is not a home that you're going to keep for 5 years or 10 years. Once you know you're going to keep a home forever, and you will get to that point in your life, pay off your mortgage by the time you designate to retire. Let's talk about retirement for a second. The new American dream. And I keep saying that because I have a new book coming out on March 8th called The Money Class. And the subtitle of that book is called Learn to Create Your New American Dream. My premise of that book, I am so sorry to say, is the old American dream is dead. Not so bad, because as I said at the start of this talk, I didn't have an idea, by the way, what we were going to talk about. As you can tell, I don't have any teleprompters, notes. I just walk out here and we'll see what happens. How are we doing so far? All right. What did you just say? 45 minutes. All right, that means we have 15 minutes left unless we want to go longer. I got no place to go. All right, so I'm going to Minnesota tonight. I would much rather stay. It's cold there. All right, so here we are, the new American dream. And part of the new American dream, as I said, is standing in your truth. And the truth is that the thought about retiring at 60 has to leave. It is not a reality anymore for most people. It just isn't. Now that's not so bad. As I stand here, about to be 60, who would want to retire anyway? You still have energy, you still have vitality, you still have a lot of life in you. If you can make it your goal to know that you want to work until you are 67 years of age, that then creates your new American dream. Years ago, I used to stand on a stage and I used to say, take your Social Security at 62 versus 65, because if you do the numbers, that's what you should do. Now, the numbers dictate that for the majority of you out there, the time to take it is at 67, and if you can postpone taking it till 70, it makes sense. So all of these are things that you need to know. But it is important that you fund your own retirement. It is important that you start putting money away today to protect those tomorrows. Besides the 401k plan, up to the point of the match, a Roth IRA is the absolute best place for all of you to be saving for retirement, bar none. Why? Any money that you put into a Roth IRA, you can take out anytime you want, regardless of your age or how long that money has been in there, without any taxes or penalties whatsoever. You are 35 years of age, and you put $5,000 in this year, $5,000 next year, $5,000 the year after. You have put $15,000